Let's begin, D. Hello, people. Sujaru speaking. Welcome to TheCrazyBunch's WebShow's number. 129. Today we're doing not one, not two, but three dead topics today. We got two news reports we're going to talk about, and then two things we got to do before we go on this episode of TheCrazyBunch's WebShow. Here we go. Let's talk about Tom Edwards. Born that name, he was a British radio presenter and television announcer, okay? Best known for his work as offshore private radio stations. Radio City and Radio Caroline. In the 60s, so his radio career with BBC Radio 1, BBC Radio 2, and various radio television networks, including Spanish television, ATV, and HTV West. He started his career as a journalist for HTV News, like that, before he translated to broadcasting, before becoming a prominent voice in British radio. Edwards also worked as a television news reader and announcer, and later overcome personal struggles with alcoholism, chronicling his life in his autobiography, Is Everybody There? He was born Norwich Edwards, Oregon, England, March 20th, 1945. Edwards began working as a journalist, writing for the HTV News for a successful audition the roles of presenter of the Board television music programming being the board, and then becoming a Palm Blue Coast like that. Between 1965 and 1967, he worked at the offshore pirate radio stations Radio City, where he began the station's chief disc jockey, and Radio Caroline. He joined the BBC in late 1967, working as a television newsreader and presenter of the BBC Look East, and in 1988 and 1989 on Saturday morning BBC East regional radio programming Happy Weekend Everybody, like that. In 1970, he presented the weekday morning regional uploads for the Today programming on BBC Radio 4 called Is East Angela. In 1968, Edwards also stated that started working on the BBC One, eventually replacing Simon D on Midday Spin. However, later became a staff announcer, newsreader on Radio 1 and Radio 2 for BBC. During the 70s, he presented a number of Radio 2 programming, including the weekday and Saturday early show, for Night Ride, for that. Music through midnight, Radio 2 Ballroom, and shows featuring the BBC Radio Orchestra, something like that. Edwards was an envisioned announcer for the Babes television in most of the 80s. Also worked with ATV and HTV West, like that. He worked on BBC Radio Norfolk in the 90s. After recovering from alcoholism, his friend Bob Monkhouse gave him the job as a voiceover artist on the game show Wipeout in the late 90s. In 2009, Edwards and David Kalis, like that, editor of BBC Radio Norfolk, compiled an hour-long story of his life titled Edwards the Confessor. His personal life and death, something like that. Edwards lived in a village in Haggleton in Lincolnshire, England for nearly 4 years and moved to London, something like that. Lincoln, something like that. Anyway, shortly before his death to be nearly to medical faculties. His autobiography, Is Everybody There, was published by Telescope on December 8th, 2018. Edwards used to open his radio show by knocking the microphone 3 times and saying, "Is everybody there?" During an interview with the promo of the book, he said this: "My book is a drama read, but I hope that you enjoy it, and you can join me on the journey that took me here." There and just anybody about everywhere, anyway. This book highlights his varied career as a DJ in the pirate and commercial radio. as a TV broadcaster, working with the BBC and several other TV companies, as well as a period of Hollywood. The book also divides into Edward's personal battle with alcohol and drug addiction, which he successfully overcame, spending 3 years in rehabilitation with St. Lincolnshire. He died this month after a long battle with cancer. He was 80 years old. The next step, Tom Hanks was Mercy Free. Born Mercy Michelle Free. Better known as Mark Edward Free. Let me see if he or she. Hang on. It was a trans woman. But anyway, she was best known as American rock singer, best known as the lead singer King Cobra, and Unruly Child. She was born April 12, 1954 in St. Bend, Indiana. Okay? She was started singing professionally at the age of 19 while living in Flint, Michigan. In 1975, she moved to Las Vegas, which eventually led her to relocate to Los Angeles in 1979. Free met Carmine at Pies in 1983. Shortly before that, Pies was fired from Ozzy Osbourne's backing band. Pies recurs her to be a vocalist in his new project, King Cobra. Well, King Cobra was initially intended to be a solo project. Pies initially decided to recruit two guitarists at the time and a bassist to build a full band. The band was signed with Capitol Records in 1984. Free recorded 2 albums with King Cobra, Ready to Strike and Fill the Lifetime, before leaving King Cobra in November 1986 for other musical interests. In 1987, producer Peter Cook McGay, Ian's my dad, began to form a solo project called Figure Kind to help from Eric Scott, keyboardist, bassist, and key producer, as well as Mark Baker, a songwriter. Okay, the group also requires a drummer, Jan Ibula. Free also joined the group later, after which Ron Flair then seduced A&R respective and AMI Records. My dad we named the group Seagull. Okay, part of the adoption of the name Signal, she unsuccessfully proposed several alternate names in the group, one of which was Unruly Child, which she was used for a later group. Signal released 1 album with EMI, Loud and Clear in 1989. This album featured several outside songwriters, and Free did not have much involvement in the songwriting on Loud and Clear. The single was also short-lived, and shortly the band was released their only album. EMI only executives dropped single from the label and did not spend any money promoting the album after its release. Free left single in 1990 of October. The band broke up shortly afterwards. Unruly Child, okay, and solo career, 1990 to 1995. In 1990, she joined up with the guitarist Bruce Gowrie and keyboardist Guy Allison, something like that. Formed the group Unruly Child. Unruly Child signed with Atlantic Interscope Records in 1991 and released a subtitled debut album in 1992, and in 1993, Free sang the theme song to be the best of the best for the action film The Best of the Best 2. Also in 1993, so considered to be the demo's Free have song for the mother-daughter songwriting duo named Julie Robin Randall, releasing the Now Event Records. Parent label in the United Kingdom. The album also entitled Long Way to Live from releasing from Frontal Records 1998. This album version included some of the live performances Free gave while in Manchester, England, first rock festival known as the Gods ARR from October 1993. Shortly after the release of Worldwide One Love, Unruly Child has lost a record deal for Lang Airscope performing another marketer 12-pound sludge. Okay, this was writing material hopes to re-sign another American label. That never happened. Those these sessions were later released in 1995 as a solo album, free release in independent labels in Germany, Japan, entitled Tremended. Unruly Child Reunion, 2009-2025. In September 2009, Free, Golly, Allison reunited as Unruly Child and signed a record contract with Predator Records. They released a new album, Rose Collide, 2010. Unruly Child released a new album in 2014 entitled Down the Rabbit Hole, the band's only label, Unruly Records. Personal Life and Death. On June 24th, 1989, Free married Lily Robinson. They later divorced. She came out as a trans woman in November 1993. Free experienced gender diversity part of his transition and changed her name to Marcy Michelle Free. She also later stated that part of her transition, she struggled with self-harm in addition that transition was a division between life and death, but very rewarding. And that is, if she wanted to consider her life as marked, she would have died from sure. After Free came out as transgender, her career suffered and her whole musical world quickly fell apart. She cited her post-transition career struggles as one reason. For the temporary disorientation of Unruly Child, Free also stated that people in the music industry whom she had poor connections drawn her after her traditions. Between the breakup single and the formation of Unruly Child, Free worked as a commercial in Los Angeles. In 1995, she temporarily retired from the music business and moved back to Michigan to be closer to her family. She's also stated that during Unruly Child's hiatus, she lived life and worked as a normal person does every day. Free experienced alcoholism and became sober in about 2008. Created a close personal relationship with God first sobriety. She died this month. She was 71 years old. She's also cited Artia Franklin as one of her greatest inspirations, including thanks to Franklin and Liner Notes and some of her albums. Some of artists Free grew up listening to and singing to include The Four Seasons, The Beatles, Beach Boys, Grand Funk Railroad, Free Dog Diet, Smokey Robinson, Led Zeppelin, as well as super big band artists. My last step topic has to do with Drew Lockhart. Born Drew Kathleen Lockhart. She was a American actress. Began a film career in the 30s and the 40s, okay? In films such as A Christmas Carol and Meet Me in St. Louis. She appeared in probably the 50s and 60s television with performances on stage and in the film, and two television series, Lassie and Lost in Space. She played more roles, okay? Anyway. Lockhart also portrayed Dr. Janet Gregg on CBS television sitcom Georgia in 1988 to 1970. She was a two-time Emmy Award nominee and a Tony Award winner, career span over nearly 9 years. Wow. Lockhart was one of the last surviving actors from the golden age of Hollywood. Born on June 25th, 1925, in New York City. She was the daughter of Canadian-American actor Gene Lockhart, who became the partner of Broadway in 1943 in All Wilderness. An English-born actress, Kathleen Lockhart, nee Arthur. Her grandfather was John Cowles Lockhart, a concert singer. She attended the Ludwig School for Girls in Beverly Hills, California. her film career began with this, okay? She made her film debut with her parents in the film version of Christmas Carol in 1948. She also played supporting parts in Make Me in St. Louis in 1944, Sergeant York in 1941, All This in Heaven 2 in 1940, and Yuri in 1946. She played with key role in Son of Lassie in 1945. Constance she revisited what lived during her the television series Lassie more than a dozen years later. She was top billed star of She-Wolf of London in 1946, and in 1996, Lockhart appeared in the fantasy film Troll. The younger version of her character in the film was played by her daughter, Anne Lockhart. They had previously played the same woman in 2 different ages. In the Lest We Forget episode of the television series Madam P.I. in 1981. Her stage career began with this, okay? She debuted on stage at the age of 8, playing Misery and Peter Elmerson, presented by the March Orchestra. And in 1947, her acting for love and money brought her parents' child and gave her notice as a promising movie actress in her own right. One of the newspaper articles began this: Julie Walker's burst on Broadway and the suddenness of an unprecedented comment. And in 1951, she starred in Lawrence Broadway's biographical play Katie Robert opposite Tom Hedwell. And her television career began with this. In 1955, she appeared in the episode of CBS Appointment with Adventure. About this time, she also made several appearances on NBC's legal drama Justice. Plays the case files of the Legal Aid Society of New York in the late 1950s. Excuse me. She guest starred in several popular television westerns. Excuse me. Including a wagon train episode called The Wiki and Laura Bell Story, and Summer in the City in the episode called these 2 episodes. One episode, excuse me. Medicine Man with Gary Morrell on NBC, Gunsmoke, Half Gone Will Travel, and Walleye on CBS. And in 1958, Walker was the name of Playhouse 90s telecast, and George Barnes' version of Tyler Oxy's The Nutcracker. Wow. Featuring Barnes himself as Dormeister, along with the New York City Ballet. Okay? Now, Walker was also famous for her top roles in TV mothers. First is Ruth Martin, the wife of Paul Martin, portrayed by Hugh Riley, and the mother of Timmy Martin, played by John Boss, anyway. In the 50s CBS series Lassie, well, she played from 1958 to 1964. Okay, she plays actress Cloris Richmond, who was trying to replace Jan Craig, who had played a similar character earlier in the series. For a 5-year run at Lassie, Lockhart made a guest appearance on Perry Mason as defendant Stan Harvey in the case of Savannah's sculpture. She also then starred as Dr. Maureen Robinson in Lost in Space, which ran from 1955 to 1958 on CBS. Opposite veteran actors Guy Williams and John Iris. Okay? Then in the same year, 1955, where she also debuted in Lost in Space, she played librarian in Colbert. First part, anyway. Rodri in California, the episode Magic Walker in the syndicated Western series, Death Very Days. She then appeared in Dr. J. Gregg in the final 2 seasons of CBS sitcom, opponent judge in 1968 to 1970. Carey was brought in to fill in the void of the career after B. Burns died during the run of the show. Wow. Lockhart was a regular on the ABC soap opera General Hospital during the 80s and the 90s. She was also the voice actress and trying the voice of Martha Day, the lead character in the Hanna-Barbera's animated series These Are the Days on the ABC during the 70s. She's also appeared on the hostess of the Miss USA pageant on CBS for 6 years. The Miss Universe pageant for CBS for 6 years. Tournament Roses Parade on CBS for 8 years. Thanksgiving Parade on CBS for 5 years. Wow. In 1991, she appeared as Miss Walrod, Michelle Taylor's kindergarten teacher on the TV sitcom Full House. She's also cameoed in the 1998 film Lost in Space, based on a television series which she started in 4 years earlier. In 2002, she appeared in 2 episodes of the Drew Carey Show's Lewis mother, Misty Kiniski, alongside fellow TV Bob, Marion Ross, who also trained the Mom Happy Days and the Grandmother SquarePants and SpongeBob SquarePants. Anyways, who's trained Drew's mother? Anyways, in that show, Barry Drew Carey's show. But in 2004, Welcome Up Boys of the role of Grandma Emma Farmer and focus on the family show, The Last Chance to Protect This Audio Cases. Anyway, moving on. Next, she also started James Caan's mother in the episode called of Las Vegas, and since guest starred in episodes of Cold Chase and Grey's Anatomy. In 2007, ABC family television film Holiday Handcuffs, and in 2007, same year that came, same year, both of those years, and Elgin/12 year that formed. Anyway, feature film Wesley as Savannah Wesley, mother of the founder of William John Wesley. In May 2014, Walker began filming The Tales of Fat, a video game that combines live action footage with three-dimensional graphics. Personal life and death. In 1951, she married John F. Maloney. They have 2 daughters, Anne Kathleen and June Elizabeth. The couple divorced in 1959, but she married Andres John Lindsay that same year. But they have divorced on October 1970. They never got remarried. She never remarried at all. The Roman Catholic Walker and her daughter Anne and actress Kay J. Lenz met Pope John Paul II in 1985. She's also lost some affiliation with American presidential candidates. The media's coverage of them. However, her friend, reporter Miriam Smith, arranged for her to travel with the both major party candidates Dwight G. Eisenhower and Adolf Stevenson during the 1956 presidential election. And again with the both campaigns in the 1960 election of John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon. Between 1957 and 2004, she attended many presidential briefings. Hello, child, greatest generations. Walker embrace rock music and listen to embracing rock bands. Embracing rock bands one day. Wow. In an interview with her Lost in Space co-star Bill Mummy stated that she took Andrew Cartwright and him to the Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub in Hollywood to hang out with the Allman Brothers Band. Appeared on Virginia Graham Show in 1970 with Art Marango and LGBT choreographer Troy Parry. Walk up to Graham about monetizing tone tolerance for gay people. Wow. She turned 100 on June 25th, 2025. She died of natural causes at home in San Diego, California, October 23rd, 2025. Julie Walcott was 100 years old. Her recognition goes like this, and we'll do them all besides the pressure. Anyway, in 1928, Walcott received a special Tony Award for outstanding performance by a newcomer in a category that no longer exists at all for a role in spotlight for love or money. Anyway, Walcott was donated her Tony Award for the Smithsonian Institution in 2008 for display in the Entertainment Archives, the National Museum of American History. Anyway, she's also nominated for 2 Emmy Awards In 1953, she was nominated for Best Actress, and in 1959, she was nominated for Best Actress in lead role, continuing character in the dramatic series for her role in Lassie. She's also had 2 stars Hollywood Walk of Fame, 1 in Mission Motion Pictures in 63-23 Hollywood Boulevard, and 1 for television, 63-62 Hollywood Boulevard. Both were dedicated on February 8th, 1960. In 2013, National Astronaut and Space Administration, and NASA for short, awarded her with a special public retrieval medal for inspiring the public about space exploration. Now, let's do the most special in regards to not 1, not 2, but 3 dev topics right now. Thank you. Rest in peace, these 3 people. Now, let's talk about the... I'm going to close this out right now. Guns N' Roses. Now, Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses explains Axl Rose on stage meltdown, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Now, it comes to my attention that Guns N' Roses have issued a statement explaining the singer's Axl Rose's recent on-stage meltdown. Now, during the opening song of the band's concerts last week, that is October 18th, at the Estadio Huracán in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Axl Rose appeared in the Roses on timbre. Valium throwing him his microphone in the drum kit, turned off his driver jacket and showing me off stage. Later part of the show, which was a part of Guns N' Roses' South American tour, Rose walked up to the drum riser, kicked the bass drum, telling the crowd, "So I'll just try and win this." And then this time, it was unclear whether Rose's frustration was dreading the sound on stage, or is it just standing by Isaac Cobbier's performance behind the kit. The drummer joined Guns N' Roses earlier this year, replacing longtime member Frank Filler. Wow. Sad with me, I know. Now, Guns N' Roses have taken to social media to explain that incident. During the opening song about a recent Buenos Aires concert, Axl in-ear monitor pack had only the production of his ear versus his entire mix. Now, the statement reads okay? The issue was fixed and the tech team by a 3rd song. But we had a great night. The situation has nothing to do with Alex Carpenter's playing. We're top notch and he's a great drummer. Now, that saddens me, and I think that it was heartbreaking, I know. Part of the joined Guns N' Roses, Isaac Carpenter was a member of GNR's bassist Doug McKagan's Loaded. Isaac Clear was also spending his roster of the Avant, including live and studio work with Aurora Nations, Adam Lambert, the Hardcore Media out with fits some of that Barbarians in California, A Perfect Circle, XC's, Owls, and Backlab. In addition to his large session film and TV roster, Carter made a name of himself by initially blending some frustrating groove with crushing force and technical skill. Conventionally, his combination as a monumental drummer, matched by a drummer in the industry. Wow. Earlier this year, McKagan spoke about Carter's role in Guns N' Roses, comparing him to the band's previous drummer inferior, Steven Adler and Matt Sorum. Isaac has got the ability to swing the groove that only a few drummers had, Dub said. Steven Adler have it as well. And I agree with Steven at one stage with Duff, you know. Steven Adler. And Matt is a great solo drummer with amazing fills. Matt's amazing. Yeah, exactly. They're both amazing drummers, and Isaac somehow blends both of those 2 guys, and that's his own thing. So he has a new sort of excitement in these songs. And the group that is swinging the songs right now with Isaac, super impressive. Exactly, and super fun. Now, acts on stage meltdowns in the 80s and 90s were legendary. Now, he famously took an explanation to authorize Paul Tiger the audience during the show in Los St. Louis in July 1991. I'll talk about that in my board jokes, Rich Jokes episode, taking the 5th grade on Rumble in a few moments. But anyway, and jump in the crowd and stop the fan from filming the concert with the camcorder. Exactly. Sads me, I know. Returning to stage, he said, well, thanking the lane and security, I'm going home. Now, the show ended when the audience decided to riot. And it saddens me, I know. Now, Rose was charged with matter, and those charges were later dismissed. Now, Guns N' Roses current drum touring lineup, which consists of Rose, Carpenter, McGagan, guitarist Slash, and Richard Forrest, keyboards, Melissa Reeves, and Dizzy Reed. And that's it for that topic. Now let's move on to one more topic to share, that is Chad Gray on Mudvayne's new music. We kind of done exactly what people have been expecting. Now, it saddens me on what they say about the death of Greg Gibbons' wife. It said in the interview with Pop Dust, okay? Mudvayne's frontman Chad Gray spoke about the band's first 2 singles in 16 years, Hurt People, Hurt People, and Sticks and Stones, which were made available on MTV recordings, okay? I've never heard the songs from Mudvayne before, but that's just me. But it's straight away by BurnMouth.net. I'm going to be straight with you, man. This is the only release I came back to the band. I was in hell yeah. My drummer died. Paul Abbott died, you know? And I was a bit lost there, you know? I was grieving. And the surviving members of Hell Yeah went up back up. We did a celebration of life, couple tours. We did a celebration of this life with a great friend of ours, who was a drummer, Roy Megara. And I got done with that. And I was really kind of lost. I don't know what to do. Anyway, and I was talking to my buddy, who's now my warrior, who's in this band, and he's like, what do you want to do now? I'm like, I don't know, dude. And he's like, you can't go back to Mudvayne. And I'm like, man, I don't want to go back to Mudvayne. I just want to, I'm not that excited about it. And he's like, okay, we'll talk again. He's like, dude, you guys went away for people really wanted for you to go away. He's like, this is going to be an opportunity to continue the Mudvayne legacy, because you guys want to get us went away. And people are excited about that. He's like, you can surely come back, continue the legacy, create new music. So what happens? If that was the first thing that kind of perked my ears up, I was like, that's what sounds cool, maybe I'll do that. Now, recording on how the Mudvayne reunion came together. Chad continued. This. We have initial conversations and stuff. We were kind of hard conversations, but putting it all back together and stuff. Then always, my plan, we wanted to keep creating, okay? And then it was turned at the point this phase where it's we're toured. The first tour back, I was like, I think it was with Rob Zombie or whatever. And next year we tour with again, and then the next year we tour again. And this past year, I was like, this is not why I came back to this. So I was like, we have to do this, and we have to do this, okay? And they claim American Rock Festival producer Danny Wimmer. Obviously, the king, Danny Wimmer, has brought Europe and America to the festivals and done such a great job with those. He has his label, Jabby, and it's just showed a lot of interest, okay? And so you have a deal with him, not a full record deal, something like that. Just a 4-song deal with him, and then got in the room and did it. We tried to do about a year ago, and whatever, maybe 2 years ago, and it just didn't work out. I was questioning, like, do we still need to do this same things? which is fine if you don't. We have been together for 12 years. I've been trying with you for 12 years, by the way. It's like, you can get in the room and go. I just don't want to beep and do it, you know. Do that, so we got. Do you still want to do the same thing, or you can we come in the common ground and continue on as ours? On this is some it's a minute, but we got it back in and we got it done. Regarding why Monday took so long to complete the 2 songs, Chad said this thing we're missing the first time as the producer. I mean, that makes everything a lot better, but they manage the egos, they manage the personalities, they keep the person away from that person's. It's weird the way we're dynamic, because you're Creed together. You're Brave and Creed. Exactly. You have a very very distant, something like that. Participation may you what you want, and very that's got to be the compromise. Exactly. And the producer is that guy that was make that compromise happen, because you're inviting outside person into your band, literally. He's used that a lot of their sounding board. Because he used Nick Rogers, something like that, who does all the new Alice in Chains stuff. He does 2 Foo Fighters records, something like that. He does some of the phones with that stuff. He's professional, phenomenal, exactly. He got a sharp work on Sound City Studios, which I don't know how you guys remember Sound City or not in LA. They did a whole documentary on Sound City. You're talking Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac and the Beatles. Crazy as bands worked there. And he's kind of started there as a writer, and then become an engineer, and then become a first engineer and stuff like this. He's got a great privilege for that. And his laundry with the band, he's working is phenomenal. And he's really quick coming in and guys focus on what we need to do. On the topic of the musical direction of the new Mudvayne material, Gray said, "I'm very proud of what these songs turned out. I know how we gotta do it because we're Mudvayne. We're a heavy band. I wasn't going to come back with the radio single first. I want to come back like, here we are. Anyway, wham. We did hurt people, and that's what we did. And then it's obviously Sticks and Stones. The song says everything how it works out, how it play out musically. Anyway. And how I heard a lot of people say, man, it's been a long time. It's been 16 years we've released everything. It's just like the variation that people have, like Mudvayne, new music, new what's gonna sound like, what's gonna be. They're like exactly what I've been expecting to hear for the last 16 years. Exactly, huh? What kind of did exactly? I think what people are expecting. This kind of cool feather in the cat. Like, cool. We came back and did it. He added this, okay? We're a legacy band and people know what we're about. People know we're not easy, we're smarter than the average bear, something like that. It's a little more difficult music. It's a little story of Mudvayne. We're also a little story that's the best part of Mudvayne as well. Especially report, Mudvayne guitarist Greg Turbo has sitting out in the band's ongoing LD 50 25th anniversary tour after his wife reported losses a year and a half while battling cancer. Yeah, LD 50 25th anniversary tour came out in September 11 in Iowa. And will conclude on October 26th on Chatsworth, Connecticut. Now, last year, Craig set out in the remaining shows in Mudvayne's Destroy All Enemies tour with Megadeth due to at the time was described as a family issue, filling him with mud veins, toy guitars, Marcus McCaffrey was suffered a guitar tech for several metal bands over the years, including Lamb of God and Hatebreed. He has worked with Hell Yeah, which originally featured both Tribbett and Mudvayne vocalist Chad Gray. LD50 was Mudvayne's debut album, arriving in August 2000 via Epic, and established the band as a new yet major player in the hard rock scene, and eventually went out to achieve a gold configuration. Yet, years after its release, both Revolver and Metal Hammer won the theme of the album as a visual of the 2000s metal class, rightly so. The tour was featured with support from SAG acts while Van were open, okay? Sick Souls and Hurt People released through Copy Recordings, a record label created in partnership between Dino Parades and featuring former American Recordings Vice President of A&R and Danny Wimmer, the founder of Danny Wimmer Presents, my name. The premier production company for rock music festivals in the United States. Underground artists including Stain and Chevelle. Anyway, hold on, let me just see. Oh yeah, there we go. What's going on? Anyway, there we go. Stop. Anyway, part of the revival of Hurt People, the United Mailers hadn't put out any new material since 2009. Wow, which means more than a decade and a half has gone without a single fresh Mudvayne song. Mudvayne formed in 1996 and has sold over 6 million records worldwide. The gold variation released 3 albums, LD50 and End of All Things to Come and Lost and Found. The band is known for the sonic animation album art, face and body paint, masks, and uniforms. Gray spent 15 years with Finding Hell Yeah, which released its 6th studio album, Welcome Home, in September 2019, featuring BA11-7 music. This box of groups followed and worked with drummer B. Paul Abbott, who passed away 7 years ago. Mudvayne did not tour behind the Spiff album at all, which was very prominent and sold weekly upon release. Released in 2000 via Epic, LD50 produced 3 singles, Dig, Deep Booms, and Nothing to Green. LD50 peaked at number 1 in the Billboard Hard Heat Seekers charts, number 85 in the Billboard 200 charts. It was certified gold by RIAA for shipping a season of 500,000 copies in 8 US alone. Mudvayne completed its first headlining tour in over 14 years. Wow. The gradual sessions in December 2023 supported the 26 Treat. Wow. Okay, which was produced by Live Rat Nation, coming up from Cold Chamber along with Gore, Numb Point, and Butcher Babies. Previously, Mudvayne was made in 2022 when they marked on the Freedom Parade tour, co-lining with Red Wild Zombie. The 2023 tour, however, marked Mudvayne's first headlining event since 2009. Wow. That's it for this topic, and that's all for the topics for the day. Oh man, hang on, I gotta get some news. That's all, and we got 2 things before we go. Okay? That is news, okay, for us, okay? Remix Pub and I talk about this. Live this Sunday night which is tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're celebrating the console that saved video games from its demise, the NES, short for Nintendo Entertainment System. Join me as we celebrate and we go over the NES and its development and everything that Nintendo went through and get here in North America in October 1985. We'll featuring me and unfortunately Chris Kenny, because I don't know about Chris Kenny, but see you guys tonight for the celebration special here on BBT. Stay tuned. And one more thing. Yesterday, I want to thank you all for your contributions and everything for my stepdad's funeral yesterday. It was an honor and privilege for me and my family to attend this funeral for my stepdad. It was like, wow. I just thought, you guys were amazing, you know? I just thought, I didn't know what to expect, you know? It was like, it was all there, so there you go. It was like a dream come true for me to have a funeral and reception going on yesterday. It was there, so I think that he will be missed by all of us in the family of LHBM and my family as well. So, that being said, that was the Crazy Bunch Web Show's number 129. We'll keep this legacy with stepdad for the years to come. Hope you enjoy it. Stay with us, gonna be Crazy Bunch Web Show's number 130. And before we go, happy Halloween for all of us at Crazy Bunch Web Show. Stay tuned. This is gonna be some days after Halloween Crazy Bunch Web Show episode. But anyway, hope you understand that we got to do a Halloween episode this year, but we'll do it next year. But that's what happens. Till next time, suggested by baby. More Crazy Bunch Web Shows. Oh, this is done. Anyway, we'll have more Crazy Bunch Web Show episodes. We'll still say out. See ya.